A phone app. Ralph is a waiter at a taco restaurant. He likes his job because the customers are really friendly, his coworkers are funny, the pay is pretty good. He does not want to work at the taco restaurant for the rest of his life though. He wants to use his money to start his own company. He wants to create a phone app that allows people to talk to friends internationally. Ralph has all the plans for his app, but he just needs the money. If the app goes big, he could make millions. The people who came up with apps like Snapchat and Groupon are extremely successful. Apps are a modern invention. It's pretty amazing what one good idea can do. Ralph notices a customer come in and serves him. Ralph compliments the man's watch. "Thank you. The truth is, I hate wearing it, but I need it because I have such a hectic schedule," he says. Ralph asks what he does for a living. The man explains that he buys apps from young entrepreneurs. Ralph jumps up and down with excitement. He tells the man about his app. He likes Ralph's idea and sets up a business conference meeting with him. Textbooks. Textbooks are really expensive. It is funny, because nobody wants them. Students just have to buy them because teachers want them to. Mr. Tan teaches an economics class, and he usually makes them buy a $200 textbook. Last year, though, one of his students tried to steal a textbook. That student got suspended. The sad thing is, the student stole the textbook because he could not afford it. Mr. Tan decided to change some things around. Instead of making his students buy the textbook, Mr. Tan made copies of the textbook and gave them to the students. This is technically illegal. Another teacher found out about what Mr. Tan was doing and told the principal. The principal gave Mr. Tan a warning. Mr. Tan had to come up with another idea that was legal. Mr. Tan decided to use online articles that were available for everyone to access. The students liked this idea, because they did not have to buy a textbook. The principal liked this idea, because it was legal. Mr. Tan liked the idea, because he felt that the articles taught a lot of interesting information. Mr. Tan won Teacher of the Year award. He was respected for caring about his students' financial situation. The hard truth. Harold loved to draw. His love for drawing started when he was 5 years old. He went to a museum when he was 5 years old and was fascinated by all the drawings. His mom told him that maybe someday his art would be up on the walls. Since then, he had drawn something every day. However, there was one big problem. Harold was not good at drawing. He wasn't terrible, but he was definitely average. Harold is now 10 years old, and for 5 years his parents and friends have been telling him how great he is. Harold believed them. At school, he saw a flyer for a drawing competition among 5th graders. The theme was environmental awareness. The first place winner would get $100. Harold was super excited when he saw the flyer. It was a chance for him to show off his skills. Harold told his parents about the competition. His mom and dad nervously looked at each other. They didn't want him to find out that he was actually not a good artist. They told Harold what they really thought of his artwork. "So you don't think I'm good?" he asked. They shook their heads. Harold was so upset that he tore up his art. He locked himself in his room. At night, his parents went to his room to give him his dinner. "Son, we feel really bad. We think it's great that you want to keep drawing, so your mother and I decided to sign you up for art lessons," Harold's dad said. Harold ran up to his parents and gave them a hug. Eyebrow waxing. Clara always thought her eyebrows were too bushy. Having good eyebrows was becoming a very popular trend among girls. Clara's friend, Rachel, offered to take her to a salon to wax her eyebrows. Clara didn't like that idea. She didn't want a stranger to be so close to her face. Rachel offered to give Clara waxing products so she can fix her eyebrows herself. Clara said okay. Clara went over to Rachel's house to get the eyebrow waxing material. She then went to Rachel's bathroom. Clara was nervous. What if she did it wrong? She slowly spread the wax on her eyebrows. A couple minutes later, she pulled the wax off. Ouch! Clara yelled. Clara looked in the mirror. Her eyebrows were gone. She had accidentally pulled off too much of it. She screamed. Rachel went in the bathroom to check on her. I heard screaming, what's wrong? Rachel asked. Clara turned around and pointed at her face. Rachel tried to hide her laugh. It's not funny, Clara said. Well, it kind of is, because you were worried that you had too much hair before, and now you have none, Rachel said. Fireball wings. Lillian loves spicy food. She has a high tolerance for it, which means that she can eat a lot of it without suffering. Sometimes, she even adds more chili to spicy food. Lillian and her friends decide to try the fireball wings at a popular chicken wing place in their town. The fireball wings were supposed to be so spicy that you could still feel the burn after 1 hour of eating a bite. Lillian and her friends had to sign a waiver to eat the wings so that they couldn't sue the business if they had any health problems after eating the wings. Lillian was excited. Finally the plate of wings came in, and everyone could smell the chili. One of her friends sneezed because the smell was so strong. Lillian took the first bite. It was hot. She started panting and breathing heavily. She drank some water, but it was still hot. Her friends ordered some milk for her. Milk is supposed to be good for dealing with spicy food. Lillian drank 2 glasses of milk, but her mouth was still burning. Her friends decided not to eat the wings, because if Lillian couldn't handle it, then they surely wouldn't.